Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Got some bad news and yet another sign that I believe the world is coming to an end. Neighbours has officially been cancelled. Now, we heard recently that the British company Channel 5 had ended its partnership with Fremantle Media, which is the company that produces Neighbours here in Australia. And they weren't going to be showing the show anymore. They were focusing on local content, which I think is part of the whole Brexit isolationist sort of theme they have going there. And they needed to find another financial backer to keep the show going. Now, the show was scheduled to finish filming in June, and the last episodes will be showing in September. And since they haven't found a new British financier or whatever, the show will end then, and it will not be coming back for another season. It's been on the air for 37 years. They've made over 9,000 episodes, and it's sad because it's like an Australian, I don't know what to call it, like it's iconic. It's Neighbours, and it was very popular in the UK, but unfortunately with the current political climate, things like that are being treated differently. So we are not wanted as an import. So we are, they're done. It's like, wow, I'm really disappointed that they were relying so much on the British money, basically, the financing, that they couldn't actually produce the show by themselves, just for the local audience. And considering Channel 10 was bought by CBS and they're launching Paramount Plus, I'm like, well, where is the streaming rescue? Every other show that is important or iconic but doesn't actually have any viewers seems to be on the air. Streaming seems to keep it alive because it's kind of like the old cable sort of method. It's like, as long as some people watch it and as long as enough people pay for the actual service, they can focus on producing the shows they want to, and not necessarily the ones that actually bring in the views. So sometimes shows that are more important keep getting produced even if they don't have the ratings. So if this show wasn't a big rating, it should have been kept alive at least for another 3 years, till it got to 40 years, because it was culturally significant. I mean, we need to have our own a certain level of hours of local content and that, so this would have been part of that. So it would seem that the show would be important and they would keep producing it because it's an Australian show about Australian lives and Australian issues. So I'm really surprised it got cancelled. I really am surprised. Now, there is a chance that someone could come in and save it because they've got a couple of months of production and they've got a few months off. But if nothing comes up before they're supposed to start up the next year, because this does happen. This even happened with the original Star Trek. They kept the sets up for 6 months because they were trying to sell it to another network. And by the time they did, someone had torn down the sets and then it was going to cost too much to start over again. So that show, Star Trek would have kept going if they'd just kept the sets up another month. So if they keep things sort of in like an unofficial hiatus, they might be able to get funding or something, long term. But I think the show has cultural significance. I can't believe that they're not finding some way to fund it through the Australian Film Commission or something like that. I mean, I'm really surprised because there's a lot of subpar shows that, as far as I can see, continue to run because we need a certain amount of, local content on the air, and they just get financed because. So why can't Neighbours be one of those shows? Now, Home and Away is still going. Haven't seen it in years. I've been watching Neighbours because they've got gay characters and I've met the actors and everything. And there's one character on there, Levi, who's really hot. So often I have the sound off and I'm just working on my computer doing stuff and I'm just sort of watching whenever his scenes come on. But I grew up watching the show. I sort of stopped watching it when I became a teenager, and I'd only really watch it when I went back home because my mum would watch it and my sister and Laura and everyone would all watch it. I'd almost get re-addicted, but then I'd come back home and, But I had started to watch it again a little bit once they put the gay characters on. So I'm really sad that it's going. And I really can't believe that they can't find funding to keep it on the air and they can't find local funding from the government, because I feel like it's a significant cultural show, like I said. And I thought they had requirements of how many hours of local TV we had to have on the air, so we're not just constantly showing American reruns. Whether that has changed or whether they've got enough low quality reality shows to fill the hours, I really don't know. But I'm just surprised, and I hope it's not the end. I'm just thinking, who was this announced by? 10 News first in Perth. So that's Channel 10 News, and Channel 10 owns the show and makes the show. So it would seem official, but it may not be the final word. It could change. So I'm going to be optimistic, but yeah, it's not looking good. It sounds like it's pretty much done, but I kind of can't believe that. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Paul Ramsey Street.